Good afternoon, everybody. Hopefully you had a chance to watch my pre-market video. Kind of get you in line. So we're doing the breakdown part of it, so we no longer have to worry about the reclaim and the breakout. Then the next question is, does this hold? I don't know. I don't need to know. So the reason is because I don't need to predict to do this. I can outsource all my thinking to the chart, okay? So what I know is if this holds and this clears, that we can be bullish. And then that way, I don't need to know whether this holds or not, or whether it keeps going down, which it certainly could. And the next level down is it's going to sweep this low and then come right here. And we don't know the in-between. However, I will tell you about breakdown shorts. They are rough. I can show you exactly on the chart what I mean. This is what the breakdown short looked like this morning. Breakdown, squeeze back into range, then hit the target. So if this is the type of short that appeals to you, have at it. We got to the target eventually, but you can see that it got halfway there, squeezed back up, failed with a lower high, then came down to the target. These are rough shorts. So instead, you can just say, okay, maybe this holds, maybe it doesn't. If it does hold, I know that if I'm above here, I can trust it. And if I get above there, then my bull target is up here. That easy. You don't need to know whether this holds. You just need to know how to get long. Once this long occurs, it's going to come up like this. It's going to offer some sort of higher low, and then it's going to go for the bull target. This will be your stop out. That's how you do it. That's how you get back into your low time frame bull bias without having to guess at the low. I mentioned recently MSTR is a good place to add calls. I can show you exactly why. Do I know that the low is in? No, but I know that we are so close to the stop out on Bitcoin that if bulls are going to step in, it's right now. And if bulls opt to step in, you have a very nice upside and a very limited risk. So the idea isn't that you know that the swing low will hold. It's that if you get in longer at the swing low, you get yourself into a trade that's at least 4-to-1, right? 4 upside to 1 downside minimum. And then you kind of come to the realization that everything I do here, there's no emotion involved in any of this. I'm not speculating on the market. I'm not speculating on bonds. I'm not speculating on the DXY. I'm simply saying these are the setups that are in front of our face right now. And I'm pretty dead inside when it comes to these mechanics. Swing low, false breakdown. Reclaim a false breakdown. Targets 1, target 2. This is a vanilla ass setup, guys. Like I don't know what to tell you. You can either do it or you can't. I can do it, so I tell you about it. Do I know that the low will hold? No. Do I need to? Nope. Because I know if I roll the dice on this exact same play 100 times, it's going to come out in my favor 70. Okay? So, that's something to think about. Let's run down some of the positions, see how we're doing. Is the Bitcoin low in? I certainly don't know. Just what I told you before, but what I can tell you is when we can clear this little block of price action around 78 to 80, the low is officially in, and we can start tightening aggressively our stop loss. Do I like riding drawdown? No. My add-ons right here. Remember 65 buy, add-on 79, currently trading 76. Does that feel good? No. My add-ons underwater. If I stop out, will I be sad? Yeah, I'll find a new long, sad relatively, because I have to do more work and find a new position entry. But ultimately, this whole Bitcoin trade was okay. If I recall correctly, we long 65, we trimmed 74. I used partials of that trim plus more to add right here. So we're kind of sitting on a little bit of a free roll. Even if we stop out, we're doing okay. And I would much prefer it goes up though. Much prefer. Riot, we are simply chopping. We discussed this before it happened. We aren't going to so much worry. We will add Riot down here, or we will trim Riot up here. And we will let the gods sort out the middle. The market gods, as it were. Not necessarily anybody else. Mara. It's chopping. We swept out the low. And we swept it out again. Eventually it'll go. If you were adding Mara, you'd be adding it close to the swing low, and you'd be happy with that add because that's a technically sound thing to do when trading. That said, I'm already in the position. We're basically humping around my entry at $12, and what more can you want? You know, I averaged up on this position, and I averaged up on it with profits from Riot. So I'm moving money around in this way, where eventually the loss will not be particularly devastating, more annoying, because like I said, it creates more work for me. AMD, am I confident in the AMD? Yes. Do I know the exact low? No, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, how low it's going to drop, but I do know that I think there's going to be a giant range formed. I'm not in this, so what my plan is I don't know why this is even on here. What my plan is to see a giant range kind of like this form, and then I'm going to add late year on the end of year correction, because what I'm thinking here is we rode this play right here, right? We rode it from where are we at, 100, and shoot, we got them pretty good in this one. I want to say, we had two different plays this year, and both were pretty solid, but we got in really low. I entered or exited right here. I'm going to let this high time frame stuff go out. If we hit this upside that I'm thinking, this extension upside, I'm going to hedge my high time frame shares, but I'm already out of the trade, and I have a plan to re-add. So this is something I like. I like being able to just sit back and relax and not worry. I have a plan for both sides of the trade. Coin's still doing coin things, and I expect coin to still go to the same upside. We are not trimming this thing until we're above 300. We look good, guys. Oxy, I think it's going to hit the target. It's bear flagging into it. Remember, this is a short setup. Meta, how are we doing? I think it's probably going to gap fill. I already discussed this. I'm not super worried about it. I find it annoying more than anything, but it is what it is. The upside doesn't change, and we are still above our buy-in, so if you want to run away from Meta from the $600 buy-in as we chop it because 575 is unpalatable to you, then I would exit the play and re-enter it. It is up to you, though. That's not how I do things. Instead, I just ride it out and put my stop below the swing low. I know roughly what's going to happen regardless. I don't feel the need to tweak this one. NUE is consolidating. Boop, just like that. Upside doesn't change. Don't know the downside. We'll cut if we break swing low. See how easy that is? We're very close to the swing low. If you were going to add leverage, it'd be right now. I'm not going to because I'm just holding my NUE. I think Netflix is going to bear flag into a short. We haven't got there yet, but we're working on it. MSTR, we talked about a good place to add leverage. This is up to you. We're so close to the swing low on this that it's not a bad place to add leverage, especially with the upside of Bitcoin being about 115 to 130. Now, this is based on my speculation, so you have to lean into that a little bit. I believe NVIDIA is about to pop. I find it hilarious that I drew a random pattern on here a couple weeks ago, and this is what essentially I think we're going to do. This is roughly mirroring the AMD position where I expect to pop. I'm going to hedge my high time frame shares, and I'm going to put a big fat add in later in the year, later midsummer. That's kind of it for the positions I cover for this Discord. I can't think of anything else. We can talk about general thesis because I'm here. VIX is bumping. Ultimately, I don't think it matters too much. I'm going to buy VIX calls down here, guys. I'll work you through it. But the strategy for buying VIX calls is what you're going to do, what I'm going to do if you want to shadow me, is I'm going to buy them 2 weeks DTE at the money, and then I'm going to be selling them literally a day or two later. I do that just in case I've mistimed the low by a day or two. But I should have the general direction right. I never hold anything to expiry. I would have no plans to buy VIX and then hold it for 2 weeks. That's goofy. I'm literally just buying enough time that I can sell it immediately, and the theta can't touch or the natural decay of the position can't affect me. Another thing is somebody mentioned, I think the XY high is in. It's either here or here. I can't tell. I think it may be a little bit higher. I can't tell on DXY, but it's getting close. Somebody mentioned the yields getting blown out. I don't think that matters. Typically what you want to do is you want to spread the 10 and the 2, and then when we have a breakdown in the market, you want to see if those are blowing out. If they're blowing out during a breakdown in the market, then you're on to something. But for the plays that we have, we're just, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. I think that there's some fundamental things behind that, but we trade in and out of positions so often that we're not going to look at the 10 and the 2 yield unless we have a breakdown in the market. This is very similar to RSI, guys, where like you can have RSI divergences, but you're not going to do anything about them until you get a reclaim or a false breakdown. Then you can kind of observe them and see if they're making any sense. Yeah, okay, cool. Will this hold? Will it not hold? So far it looks okay, guys. Looks like we're putting the bullish engulfing. That's fun. And you know where you have to reclaim to keep going. I'll draw up some pretty charts. Pretty to me, you know, like charts only a mother could love type situation. And I'll tell you what the targets are, where the high or low will likely to be if we hit the targets, how to get back on trend, how to be bullish again on the low time frame to match our high time frame bias, and tell you one more time before I sign out here, guys. There's no like emotion attached to any of this. I have upside targets. I have back tests below. I have back tests above. I'm looking for tight risk to reward. I'm reporting that. That's it. There's nothing more. There's nothing more behind the scenes here. I'm just reporting as many high risk to reward trades or low risk to high reward trades that I can, in the idea that if we roll these same dice over and over and over and it comes up on our side 50% of the time, taking 4-to-1 trades is going to make it a net winner over time, basically in perpetuity. There's nothing more to it than that. So hopefully that helps explain some of my feelings behind the situation, or lack thereof, and how I'm executing on this, or at least how I'm trying to tell you to. And then you can understand some of the how the sausage is made, as it were. Have a good day, guys.